Hello everyone, you're welcome to this channel and I'm Gift Cost Time by name. On this tutorial, I'm going to be teaching you how to achieve a full circle flay using a bias method, and to be more specific, using Ankara fabric because the lengths are usually 45 inches. So I'm going to be showing you how to achieve your own lengths, your own full lengths, and also teach you how to attach a band as well. So if you're new to this channel, you are welcome, and to all my returning subscribers, thank you for your support. Kindly stay tuned as we proceed. I'll be using this Ankara fabric of 5 yards. I love the print. Next, I'm going to be using a matching zipper for it. And then I'm going to be using a bias to hem the bottom part and a collar stay for the band. So I'm going to be illustrating using a smaller fabric for you to see. First, I'm going to take my fabric, as you can see me doing on the video. I'm going to fold it into two. Next, what I will be doing, I will be forming a triangle shape. So after folding my fabric into two, the two open edges, I'm going to fold it in such a way it's going to form a triangle, as you can see me illustrating in the video. So these open parts are being folded to get a triangle. That is the bias we are talking about. So now I'm going to take my waist measurement divided by 4 and then impute the value there. Now, because I want this to be a full circle skirt, I'm going to divide firstly my waist measurement divide by 2. So let me explain with the actual measurements I used. So my waist measurement was 30 divided by 2, which is 15 inches. So 15 for the front, 15 for the back. Now the 15 inches for that of the front, I divided it by 4. Then added my seam allowance, added extra 1 inch on both sides because I'm going to join it with the back. So now, currently what I'm doing now, I'm taking my desired length, how long I want the skirt to be. Starting from that point I already marked at the top. So I'm going to take, for this mini illustration, I'll be using 6.5 inches. So I'm going to take 6.5 inches all the way through till I get to the end. After getting my desired length all the way through, next I'm going to proceed to cut it out. So you actually have a curve at the hem part of it, and then the upper part will be a straight cut because that is divided by 4, your measurement. So this is what it looks like. This is for the front. Next, I'm going to do the same thing for that of the back, but there will be a slight difference in terms of the waist measurements because we are adding the zipper part. So it's the same thing, fold my fabric into 2 and then slant it to get a triangle shape. Now for the waist measurements, which is also 15 for that of the back, divide by 4, whatever value I get as well, I'm going to add extra the side seam and also the zip seam. So now I'm adding extra 2 inches compared to that of the front. After that, I'll take my desired length and cut as well. So this is for the back. Now the back waist measurement will be bigger than the front because of the zipper part. I'm going to split it open at the midpoint. That is what I'm doing. So we have one part for the back, for the left and for the right of the back. So this is how it's going to be. So this is a mini illustration for that of the full skirt, because if I'm doing the full video for the actual skirt, you will not be able to get a clearer view of it. That's why I had to do this mini illustration. So next, by the time I'm joining it, I'm going to sew the sides together. But before joining the sides, I'm going to add my pockets. Now I'll proceed to the actual skirt itself to show you the main, using the main measurement. Now for the actual skirt itself, which is this, from the waist measurements, for me to add my pockets, I'm going to be coming down by 1.5 inches. That is what I'm marking. This is for the front part. I'm going to come down by 1.5 inches and then add my pockets. Now I have a detailed tutorial on how to cut a pocket. It's a freehand. So I'm going to attach my pockets starting from that 1.5 inches I came down with. So I'm going to pin it over. So because this fabric have both front and back parts, so I'm going to place it right side facing the right side. So I'm going to use my pin to keep it in still first, but I'm going to be sewing it using 1/2 inch. So what I'm doing currently, I'm just using my pin to put it in one place. So next, the other part of the skirts, I'm also going to come down by 1.5 inches and do the same thing as well. Insert my pockets. So now, after sewing these two parts for the front skirt, I'm going to take the back, one part of the back of the skirt. I also have added my pocket as well. So now I'm going to be placing it right side facing right side. I'll make sure that the pockets align as well. So also for the dart of the back, before putting my pockets, I came down by 1.5 inches as well. So as you can see, I'm making sure that the pockets align together, the side seam align together as well. So I'll be showing you how you will sew them together. So first of all, you're going to sew the waist using 1 inch or 1/2 inch, whatever you kept from the beginning. Next, you're going to curve the pockets, and then go down all the way till you get to the bottom of it. So that is how you're going to be sewing the two sides. So I've gone ahead to attach both the front and the back, and this is the pocket on one part and the other pocket is on the other part. Now for the hem part of it, I'm going to be using my bias tip. Because it's a flame, for you to hem it, it will be very difficult. So you need a bias, or you can also have this industrial weaving interlock at the hem parts. Whatever you desire, you can go ahead to do, but I'll be using a bias for it. So this is how I'm going to place my bias. On the right part of the fabric, I'm going to sew on one part that is already ironed. The bias will help you, it will give you that guidance on how to sew. After sewing that part, I'm going to flip it over and sew the other part. So that is how I'm going to be attaching my bias to it to give my hem a good finishing. And this is it. This is how the outcome will be. So next, what I'll be doing, I'll be joining the back parts for the creation of my zip. So I'm going to merge the two back parts together. So I'm just fixing both of them together. But before joining it, I'm going to leave about 9 inches from the top part. Then from that 9 inches point, I'm going to sew it all the way down. So that 9 inches I'm leaving, which is this, is for the zip. This is where I'm going to be adding my zip to it. So but first, before adding my zip, I'm going to be doing the band. Now I'm going to measure the waist measurements, what I have. So since I'm working with a waist of 30 inches, I'm going to be using 1.5 inch for my zipper. That is 3/4 of an inch on both sides. So what I'll be having is 31.5 inches for my waist, which is perfect for me. I don't need so much for the zip. Now for the band, what I measured is 32.5 inches. I added extra 1 inch, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to be using up that 1 inch I added extra. So instead of 31 inches, I made it 32.5 inches. Instead of 31.5 inches, I made it 32.5 inches. Now for the width, I'm using 5 inches. So I'm going to be adding my collar stay because I want it to be firm. I don't want it to be loose. I just want the band to have a structure. So I've added it. So next what I'm going to do, I'm going to fold it into two, and then I'm going to iron it so it lies flat. So this is it after ironing it. So what I'll be doing now, that extra 1 inch I told you I added initially, this is how I'm going to fold my fabric. So I'm going to place right side facing right side, and then I'm going to sew 1/2 inch on both ends, just the way you saw me illustrating in the video. So after sewing the 1/2 inch on both ends, I'm going to flip it over the right part of it. So I'll be using my scissors to bring out every pointy edge so that it gives it the right shape. So this is it. This is the band where I'm going to be working with. Next, I'm going to get the midpoint of this band. I'm going to give it a notch. Now I'm also going to get my main skirts. So from the front parts, I'm also going to fold it into two to get the midpoint as well. So I'm notching the midpoint from the front. That is where you need the midpoint, the front part of the skirt. Now I'm going to be placing my band. So what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to take the band now, on both sides, they are both the front, the right side. So there's no wrong or right side for the band. But for the skirt, we have the wrong parts and the right parts. So now I'm going to start with the wrong part of the skirt. This is the inner part. So I'm going to take my band and place it like so. You need your pin to guide you. So I'm going to attach it all through on both sides, and I'm going to sew it. So after sewing it, this is how it looks like. Next, what I will be doing, I will take the other part of the band. So I'm going to fold it in such a way as if I'm hemming the band. So I'm going to be folding it inward, and then I'm going to hem closely. I'm going to be stitching it closely so that it seal up that other part. After doing it, this is how it is. So the front part is looking beautiful, the inner part is also looking beautiful. You can't find any rough edges. So next I'll be flipping it over and I'll be attaching my zipper. So the zipper, the 9 inches I left is now longer because of the band. So I'm done attaching the zipper to it, and this is how the skirt turned out to be. So if you've watched to this extent and this video have been helpful to you, please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. See you in my next tutorial.